All right. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video today. Today we're going to get into a variety of topics, but this first one, it seems like the Tesla Model 3 long range version rear wheel drive is coming to markets across the world. So we'll talk about it. And hopefully this vehicle will be coming to the United States very, very soon because the Model 3 definitely needs some help, but it seems to be it's available across in other markets and also available to those that want to purchase it personally. It used to be, I think before that it was like a business purchase beforehand, but now it is available to anyone that wants to buy it. So we're going to talk about that plus a variety of topics. But before we get into that, let's roll that intro real quick. All right, so thanks for watching another stream. Thanks for watching another video. My name is Dennis, and I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best behind Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel and get access to the best ultimate buying guide out there that has links to all the interest rates and credit unions and banks out there that have better than Tesla financing. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. And shout out to my latest Patreon members. Thank you for supporting. We've got William, Shushil, Ryan, Austin, Isaiah. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for supporting. If you want to check it out, Patreon link down below in the description. And thank you to everybody that's come on here every night or every day, hits the like button in the comments and everything, so on and so forth. But let us get into this. So if you don't know what happened very, very recently, Tesla updated the Model 3 page on the Tesla website. You can see there's a brand spanking new picture on the site. It's got this, some people are saying it's the multi-coat red. It definitely looks like the ultra red to me in terms of like what the Model S and the Model X has. But I think they're trying to have this blend in between both of those vehicles at the end of the day, or both of those colors at the end of the day. But the one thing that sticks out to me is they've got a lower lease payment right here of $399, which of course that's for a Model 3 standard range. We've got the range of 325 plus. That's of course the Model 3 long range. And then we've got the 0 to 60 time 3.1 seconds, which of course that's the Model 3 performance. But shout out to Berlinergy and then also Sawyer Merritt, the Model 3 long range rear wheel drives, which means the back wheels are going to be the one that spins and not all four wheels, if you didn't know, is now available in various countries all over Europe. It seems like a few people were noticing it's in Germany that you can actually get it. It also is in Italy as well. And so it's pretty interesting because if you take a look and click through all the different inventory sites, here's one from France, of course, we can see and try and backdate what the price could be. And it seems like it's going to be about $52,000 in the, if you try to convert it, their version versus ours. But then here's another one, Model 3, shout out to Tesla Adri, Model 3 long range rear wheel drive just hit Germany. First, of course, when it was announced, it was business to business only, but now it seems anyone can buy one. So what this tells me is there's a lot of competition in the Europe market for Tesla. And we talked about the other day how Volkswagen is selling a lot of electric vehicles across all their different platforms and companies. And so Tesla might be running a little bit for their money, or having to run a little bit for their money, because the competition is coming on strong. And at the end of the day, this is good for us as consumers. We want more vehicles out there. We want a lot more choices, which of course will then put pressure on these vehicles to make them more cheaper for us. And so here's one person. Shout out to Fabi. It looks like they converted $46,000 in terms of the price. If you compare it to the United States market, we've got the Model 3 long range all-wheel drive for $47,240. So $1,000 or maybe even $1,200 cheaper. And of course, this will probably qualify for half of the tax credit as well, just like how the Model 3 long range only qualifies for half of the tax credit. And so that's a $3,750 tax rate. And if you're confused about this, $7,500 tax credit or up to $3,750. We're going to talk about that in another video, so definitely hit that subscribe and check it out so I can go through a current updated version on what you need to qualify and how much you will actually need to make to qualify. But shout out to Tesla Audrey for posting this. I mean, it's definitely interesting. I would love to see a Model 3 long range real wheel drive come out, especially in markets like California, Arizona, Vegas, Texas, maybe even. We just don't need all wheel drive as much as these other states like the Northeast or maybe even Pacific Northwest. And so, or maybe even Florida, right? I would love to drive a Model 3 real wheel drive instead of all wheel drive, because maybe it will drive better at the end of the day. Because, sometimes the real wheel drive preference vehicles feel a little bit better at the end of the day. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. Do you think that a Model 3 long range rear wheel drive is coming to the American markets? Fingers crossed, I hope it is, and I definitely hope it will come in at a lower price. But if you're on the fence, if you are waiting to buy a Tesla Model 3, we talked about yesterday how there was plenty of discounted Tesla Model 3s available for sale in the United States. So I would say just wait it out. I mean, yesterday we saw even as high as $1,500 off a brand new Tesla Model 3 rear wheel drive. That's a demo discounted inventory. And look, it's still here in inventory in Upland, California. It's got 1,376 miles and it has a discount of $1,570. So if you're on the fence, I mean, the next month, June, is the last month of the second quarter. So I would just wait it out if you can. It might not be worth it to try and move to buy one just yet, because all the deals, all the different discounts and everything like that is probably going to come out in the next month or so. And so if you can wait, if you don't need a car, I would just say wait it out. But if you've got a different situation, if you got financing that expires, or you've got a trade-in vehicle that you need to sell and get out of really quickly, then that's certainly a different scenario at the end of the day. So if that's your case, then go to waitingfortesla.com, find a demo discounted Tesla that's brand new in your area with not too many miles, maybe I would say max 2,000 miles. Find one, give Tesla your money, reserve it, and then try and take delivery ASAP. But we're going to jump into our next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is a Patreon link where you can support the channel, and there's a variety of benefits, but some of them include actually scheduling a call with me. You can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you join the Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the resources that I use to get the best possible deal at the best financing rate, including credit unions and banks on that Patreon guide list that all have interest rates lower than Tesla financing, lower than Tesla's, let's double check it, 5.59%. Some even as low as 3.7 to 2.99%. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. And as an added benefit, I do respond to all Patreon DMs or direct messages in the Patreon app at a certain membership level. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. Water break. But if you're just joining in, welcome. Warren, good evening. Paul, good evening. Thank you all. Thanks for always coming in, supporting, hitting the like button, and joining in. We've got a round of some topics here. It's definitely some of them pretty interesting. And so we'll just jump right into it. In this next topic, the Ferrari's CEO has just called out Tesla and said, basically, we don't care about self-driving cars. So we'll take a look at it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, but more on that later. All right, so let us take a look at this. Shout out to The Drive for posting this article. Quote, Ferrari CEO on self-driving cars. Quote, we don't care. You can almost feel the animus in his words. And I mean, it makes sense, right? Full self-driving is a more passenger type of vehicle thing. Ferrari, like Porsche, Lamborghini, and all these other vehicles out there, that's more of a driving experience type of vehicle, right? Like Ferrari doesn't even make a SUV yet, but as they start to roll out more vehicles, and of course, Lamborghini is part of the Volkswagen Audi group. So I could see them dabbling it more because they have other brands that could facilitate and create that full self-driving or autonomous vehicle. But Ferrari, on the other hand, is just a different animal at the end of the day. So I can easily see that how they would not care at all, because they are essentially a performance vehicle manufacturer, and so they wouldn't really need to care about self-driving cars, nor would people that buy Ferraris. I don't think they're going to care about having full self-driving or self-driving cars in their Ferrari. So definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. Let me know what you're thinking. But basically, the Ferrari CEO Benedetto Vigna did not mince words about how the automaker feels about self-driving cars. There are 4 kinds of software. There's performance software, there's comfort software, there's infotainment software, and there is autonomous. Quote, the last one, we don't care. I mean, pretty striking words, and I kind of agree. I would make sense. It makes sense. If I was a CEO for Ferrari, I wouldn't invest a single cent into full self-driving, autonomous driving, or anything like that, because the people that buy those cars are buying it for way other different reasons at the end of the day. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you're thinking. We're going to jump into the next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is the Patreon link or support the channel, so definitely check it out if you're interested. Water break. All right. Hopefully everybody's having a swell day. Happy Sunday. These next 2 topics are going to be a little bit of a PSA, I guess, pretty requested from Patreon members. So which makes me wonder, like, I've been thinking about, should I create like a Google form or some sort of community area where if you have a question that you want me to talk about as a topic, you could submit the question and then I can make it to talk about the next day or a quick turnaround, because we have been using the community page, which I've been creating polls out there. And maybe I'll put another one like once a week, like, hey, what do you want me to talk about this week? And see if people have certain questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla that we can talk about. Because it seems like, it's, of course, buying a Tesla has always been changing. A lot of things are kind of the same, but at the end of the day, there could be updated videos. And of course, channel announcement, we will be doing a giveaway this Friday. For sure, it's going to be a giveaway this Friday, and we'll be doing another giveaway next Friday. It's this Friday, I'm pretty sure. It's between 2 things, so let me know what you want me to give away first. Actually, of course, I'll put a poll out there as well. The first item that we're going to give away is this Electron EV charger for your Tesla. It's got a 515 plug or NEMA 515 plug and a NEMA 1450 plug. Shout out to Electron for shipping me this. We're going to give it away, of course. And on top of that, Jason at OC Tint Solutions wants to give away another free installation of Tesla tint for your Tesla. But of course, you need to be willing to travel to his shop in SoCal, Southern California. But 3M ceramic tint, definitely worth it if you win that giveaway as well. All right, let's see what else we got. In this next topic, we're going to talk about Tesla existing inventory, kind of explained, and what can you do, what can you not do, and my tips on this. This came from a viewer, a Patreon member. He wanted me to talk to a little bit about what are the different types of inventory out there, what's actually possible, because some vehicles have enhanced autopilot, some vehicles have full self-driving already installed. What can you do and what can you not to do to, of course, get the best deal, get the best, the quickest buying Tesla or buying a Tesla very quickly, and much more. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, where you can get the ultimate Tesla buying guide out there that has links to all the credit unions and banks that I use to get the lowest rate for financing a Tesla, some even as low as 2.99 to 3.7%. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. But let us get into this. So You've just decided you want to buy a Model 3 or a Model Y, S, or even X. You've been to the ordering page a bunch and you're trying to figure out what is the best course of action. Do you order it? Do you use our referral code down below in the description where you can get Tesla loot box? It's I think it's like Dennis758, something like that. But of course you can get loot box credits to purchase supercharging miles and much more. But the thing is, so let's just take, for instance, you're looking to buy a Model 3. So you go to the order page and you'll see that you can give Tesla your $250 deposit and you'll be put or thrown into the ordering queue. But you'll also notice, if you didn't notice, there are early delivery options. And what that is, that's existing inventory that's currently out there. There could be plenty around you. There could be not as many around you. But the thing is, on top of that, there's different types of inventory vehicles out there. And so I've created a list, and actually this is part of our inventory, or this is part of our buying guide, which you can get at the Patreon link down below in the description. And you can see here that there are basically, 5 types of inventory that is actually out there that you can actually purchase via Tesla. And the best way to look at that is, of course, through waitingfortesla.com. Shout out to Waiting for Tesla and shout out to TJ and the team. This allows you to see vehicle all over the country, all over the United States. And if you're in California, this is definitely helpful because you can see Northern California and Southern California inventory. But take a look at it. So the first one makes perfect sense. New in stock. That's just brand new. It's in stock. You can buy immediately within a week or two or anything like that once you get your financing squared away. The second one is in transit or pre-production. Sometimes you'll see on the Tesla website that some of these vehicles actually in inventory are not actually at the store yet. It's got an ETA of like a week or two or even a month from now. And so you're actually putting your name on a vehicle that's being produced and hasn't been shipped to the dealer or the store, the Tesla store, so you can take delivery. So it could be a month out, it could be a week out. Really, there's no ETA until you actually put down your money, but it tries to give you some sort of a quick ETA. The next one is that there's demo showroom vehicles. These are vehicles that are brand new. You will still be the owner of it. These are vehicles that could have a demo discount of $500 to $1,000 or maybe even more, but have really low miles. Like I would say, like this one right here on the screen, it's got 5 miles. It's a demo discount inventory. You're still going to be buying a brand new one, and it's got a $980 discount. So I mean, that seems like a good deal to me, but some other people, maybe they'll want more. I mean, maybe I would want more as well. Maybe $2,000 to $3,000. The next one is demo inventory, test drive vehicles. You saw it on the screen. These are vehicles that could have higher miles than that, 1,376 miles. That actually isn't that high. I mean, at the end of the day, we've had the Model 3, the Model Y, the S, and now the X. And the Model Y we bought, it was a demo Model Y Performance. It had 888 miles and it had a $3,000 discount. That was definitely worth it to me, and you could probably agree that will be probably worth it to you as well. The last type of inventory is damage disclosure. This one is hidden. It is not posted on any websites that I've seen. And the only people that can access this vehicle is your Tesla advisor. And the easiest way to do that is to go into a store, talk to an advisor there, and see if they can pull up any vehicle for you. And basically what this type of vehicle is, this is a vehicle that could be in inventory that could have got something broken, like a trunk latch, or even hit something. They fixed it. You'll still be good. And you can even ask them what type of repair order at the end of the day it actually had, and of course it should have some sort of discount as well. But the next question is, there is a lot of inventory, there's a handful of inventory that could be out there that could already have enhanced autopilot. It could already have other features like that. And so the question is, can you actually take off the software features? So of course it could have towing package. It could have, if it has hardware features or hardware add-ons like towing, you can't actually remove that at all. But if it does have software features like full self-driving, enhanced autopilot, you can remove it, and then it would lower the price after that. What you would do is you'll still reserve the vehicle, but then before you actually take delivery, you'll just ask the Tesla advisor to take off that feature, the enhanced autopilot for $6,000 or the full self-driving for $15,000. And then of course the price will be reduced from that. So Definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Hopefully that clears up a lot of the confusion out there. There are ways, if it has enhanced autopilot and the price is higher, then of course it's already baked into the price and you're getting it, but you can take it off. Now, the flip side is that for the used side, you unfortunately cannot reduce any features to reduce the price. The price is what it is, and the features added on are what they are. You can't change that at all, but definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. Let me know what you're thinking. We're going to jump into the live stream comments, but before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is a Patreon link where you support the channel, and there's a variety of benefits, so definitely check it out if you're interested. William, this guy lives Tesla and Tesla hacking, so best update info on the minute. The 24-hour CNN regarding Tesla news to help pan out your future purchase. Thank you, William. Thanks for coming in. Thank you for supporting, and thanks for always coming in. I think you joined the Patreon too, so thank you for that. Paul, good evening. Welcome. Warren, good evening. Welcome. Vic, FSD is so expensive. Yes, 100%. And also the other thing I should have brought that up is there's subscriptions for enhanced autopilot and full self-driving. Enhanced autopilot, you can pay $100 a month, and full self-driving, you can pay $200 a month. So I definitely do not recommend plunking down the $6,000 or the $15,000 unless you just have money just burning a hole in your pocket and you believe in it 100,000%. I really don't believe it putting that much money down at the end of the day, but some people do. So I can easily see why. All right, let's see what else we got. We're going to talk a little bit about, well, actually, if you're just joining in, welcome. Tesla Model 3 Long Range has been updated and introduced or reintroduced to the European market. So if you're just joining in, Model 3 Long Range rear-wheel drive is now available in various countries across Europe. And it seems like the consensus is the price converted is $46,000, which if you look at the difference between that and what a current Model 3 long range all-wheel drive is, that's about a $1,240 difference. So is it worth it? I mean, that's tough. I mean, I would say it needs to be like a $3,000 to $4,000 difference. Of course, we can't compare European market prices to American markets. And if we could assume that the Model 3 long range rear-wheel drive would only have a $3,750 tax credit. So in this next topic, we're just gonna do an updated tax credit or Tesla tax credit explained, because I do get questions all the time about, what do they qualify themselves, or how do you qualify, or do you qualify as an individual? And so I'll give you the exact tools on what you can do to see how much federal tax you pay, and also how much tax credit you can actually take from buying a Model 3 or a Model Y. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel, but more on that later. All right, so let us take a look at this. So you just ordered a Tesla Model Y and use our referral code down below in the description, and you're wondering how much of this tax credit, or maybe you haven't purchased yet. You're on the fence and you're trying to figure out what you want to do. And how much you're trying to figure out how much of this tax credit, whether it's $7,500 federal tax credit for the Tesla Model Y in the all-wheel drive standard range, the long range, and of course the performance model, or if it's the Model 3 where only two of the models only qualify for the, or two models qualify for the $3,750 tax credit, which is the Model 3 standard range rear-wheel drive, and the Model 3 long range, which both of those only qualify for $3,750 tax credit. There is, of course, the third version, the Model 3 Performance, of course, the most expensive one, but then that one qualifies for the full $7,500 federal tax credit. So the first thing is you're trying to figure out how much of this tax credit will you actually get back, because you do have to make above a certain income limit, and it's a W-2 income limit, because W-2 income paychecks. W-2 incomes pay taxes on every single paycheck, where this self-employed, it's kind of this thing where if it's self-employed, you should definitely talk to a CPA, because depending on write-offs and things like that, that your federal tax might not be as much or maybe even higher depending on it. But the first way to actually take advantage of the full $7,500 tax credit or the $3,750 tax credit is actually using one of our channel sponsors. Shout out to Tenet down below for sponsoring this video. You can actually use Tenet to defer a portion of the loan, maybe even the tax credit, $3,750 or the $7,500, all the way to the end of the loan, and which then results in a lower monthly payment. Tenet does this by working with credit unions and other banks to get special financing for electric vehicles, because Tenet understand EVs a little bit differently. So if you're looking for a low monthly payment or refinance your existing loan and get a lower monthly payment, definitely check out Tenet down below in the description. And shout out to Tenet for sponsoring this videos and a bunch of other videos this month. But let us get into it. So the first website I use a lot and really is one of the best resources to kind of give you the best idea. Of course, at the end of the day, let me caveat all this and say that I'm just a guy on YouTube talking about purchasing EVs. I've also bought 4 Teslas back to back, and I have taken advantage of the electric vehicle tax credit multiple times with multiple vehicles. So I've done this before. I've seen it. I do my own taxes through TurboTax. So I've seen the big number, the big check that you get from buying Teslas. So this is what you do. So here's the Smart Asset Income Tax website. You can type into Google smartasset.com/taxes/income taxes. You can see I've put in the threshold right here of $75,000 as a single person. And if you scroll down to the box for 2022, you can see this hypothetical person that made $75,000 paid 2022 federal taxes of $9,381. Of course, they paid this in every single paycheck because it was withdrawn out and sent to the federal government. So at the end of the year, that's the total amount of taxes they paid. So if this person who has an income of $75,000 buys a Tesla Model Y, they will reap the full benefit of the $7,500 federal tax rate, because they make essentially right around there and they paid that much in taxes. So you can really much go all the way down to, I want to say like $70,000, where you're still reaping the whole benefit. Actually, maybe even down to like $65,000 W-2 income. Actually, $65,000 only nets you $7,000 in federal taxes. So if there is diminishing returns, if you make anything less than that, you're not going to reap and get the full tax credit back. But of course, Model 3 only qualifies for $3,750 of the tax credit for the standard range in the long range all-wheel drive. So those vehicles, you can go all the way down to, I want to say like $45,000 or $45,000 or $47,000, where you'll reap the full benefit. You can see right here, round numbers, $45,000 and federal income taxes paid of $36.41. So you can kind of get the idea of what's going on here. Everybody pays taxes, especially if you're W-2 and if you're a single person. Well, I guess married people also pay taxes, but of course, married will then push the threshold even lower, because the government, if you're a married couple and you make this much, they try and take less of your money away. So if you're married, you have to make, I want to say, even more to reap the full benefit for both of you combined. You can see right here, I'm all the way up to almost $95,000, and the tax bucket right here for the federal tax is at $7,881. So a married couple, roundabout number 95,000. That's for both of you combined. That's about the number where you're going to take full advantage of the $7,500 federal tax credit. Hopefully that makes a lot of sense. Hopefully that clears it up. Of course, at the end of the day, please consult a CPA if you've got special situations, because you can imagine this can get very convoluted and interesting, because if you add in 401k contributions, HSA contributions, kids on top of that, then it can definitely get a little bit more complicated at the end of the day. But hopefully that makes a lot of sense. That's an updated version of what's going on right now. And this is why buying an electric vehicle is pretty powerful, because when you file for your taxes next year, when you file for your taxes before April of 2024, you are essentially getting a added refund of $3,750 or $7,500 on top of that. And that's just straight tax-free money back to you, or taxed and then tax given back to you. And it makes it pretty worth it. I mean, it is delayed and deferred, but that's where you can use financing partners like Tenet to take advantage of the low interest or the low payment right now if you're interested. And so there's a strategy where you use Tenet, use their deferred financing, and then refinance the whole thing, get that low monthly payment now, and then refinance the whole thing next year when you get the tax credit, and then move on at the end of the day. So thank you to Tenet for sponsoring this video and for sponsoring a bunch of other videos this month as well. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. Let me know what you're thinking. And we're going to jump into the live stream comments. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is a Patreon link where you can support the channel. And there's a variety of benefits, but some of them include actually scheduling a call with me. We can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you join the Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the resources I use to get the best possible deal at the best financing rate, including credit unions and banks on that list that all have interest rates lower than Tesla financing, lower than Tesla's 5.59%, some even as low as 3.74% down to 2.99%. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. And shout out to our latest and well, actually all right. And thank you for the 3 referrals that have came in. I forgot the names already, but I made a tweet. It's pretty quick. I'm pretty excited as well because I was pretty bummed out. I lost like a bunch of supercharging miles in the past, but thank you to Billy, Sean, Guherme for using our Tesla referral code. If you want to use our Tesla referral code and get some supercharger credits or maybe even win a Cybertruck, definitely check it out. Tesla referral code down below in the description. And if you just bought a Tesla or if you're about to buy one, definitely check out our discount part Tesla part accessory discount codes down below in the description as well. And thank you to everybody that has used the discount codes down below in the description. Howdy, Michael. Thanks for coming in. Damn, I finally made it to your stream. Warfox, thanks for coming in. When do you think they'll release the Highland? Warfox, I mean, there's rumors next month, maybe even later this year. I mean, at this point, there's Tesla China rumors that it's going to be next month in terms of start of production. And so we could see something in July. I have a question about the rated Tesla APR. Would that be the max rate I can get for our lowest? I have a question about the rated Tesla's APR. Would that be the max rate I can get or lowest? No, there's lower, Warfox. Definitely check out the Patreon link down below in the description where you can get a list of all the credit unions and banks that are easy to join and where you can get 3.74%. Anybody can get that actually. Model Y standard range or Model 3 long range. That's what I'm considering. I like the Y for the practicality, but the 3 long range for the extra range. In your opinion, which one is the better decision? We actually asked that question on the poll, and let's see what the update is because I'm pretty sure I asked that, like Model 3 long range or Model 3 long range or Model Y standard range, because you're right, it's essentially the same price. Here it is. So, okay, so now I guess I asked Model 3 standard range all-wheel drive versus Model 3 standard range, and of course most people chose Model Y standard range. And I'm pretty sure I asked the same question, Model 3 long range versus the standard range. Here it goes. Yeah, Model 3 standard long range versus Model Y standard range. You can see right here on the screen, Tommy, 47% chose Model 3 long range because of the added extra range, but 37%, pretty close race, I would say, at the end of the day. Over 1,000 people voted, over 1,500 people voted, and pretty close race. So my advice to you, Tommy, is depends on your driving behavior. If you do a lot of driving, if you do a lot of road trips or even high commute, like 50 to 100 miles a day, then I would probably say, it depends. Actually, I need to ask more questions. Like, do you have a home charger? Do you not? Are you going to be charging at superchargers? It gets a little bit more, but I think you kind of get where I'm going with, though. Warfox, Model Y has more room. It's just more comfortable. And for the more range, there are a lot of chargers nowadays. That shouldn't matter unless you're always in a hurry. Warfox, yeah, thanks for coming in and answering that question from. I'm having the same debate with myself, by the way. Bob the Builder, exactly. It's tough. I mean, if you've got a home charger, then go Model Y standard range. If you don't, then yeah, definitely not. I make too much for the tax credit, so we'll end up buying used Model 3 with full self-driving. Any info or concern about buying a used 2019 or 2020 and a building for limitations on full self-driving with older model? William, yes. Make sure it's got hardware 3.0 at least. But that's the thing. Now with like hardware 4.0 on the near future, it's tough to buy a used Tesla. And so it really has to make sense. The price spread between what the new one is versus the used one. And also, William, like with the tax credit, I mean, there are ways to lower your adjusted gross income because that's actually how the federal tax credit is based on. And also it's based upon the year that you buy in terms of your adjusted gross income or last year, the year before. And so there's ways to reduce your adjusted gross income. I'm talking like 401k, other things like that. And so you could, if you're on the threshold, then try that. But if you blow it out of the water, then of course, maybe just get married or something to lower it. But of course, no, actually don't do that. I'm really interested in the P Highland though. Depending on the refresh, I might purchase for the 3 long range. Yeah, the Highland would be very, very interesting at the end of the day, coming out very soon. 48K or below is my price target. Yeah, I mean, with the tax rate, it basically puts it under there at the end of the day. Warfox, I'm going to use your referral code in June. No, thank you, Warfox. Thank you for all the support and for coming in. And yeah, I haven't seen you in a while, but thanks for coming back. But with the Y long range, getting that full 7,500, it's something to think about. Exactly, Bob the Builder. And actually, I made a pricing comparison sheet that you might be interested in. So let's see, because it really does not make sense. I guess this only makes sense if you qualify for the 7,500 federal tax credit. If you don't, then of course it's a whole nother ball game. But I made a video like a couple weeks ago about how Tesla pricing just does not make any sort of sense right now, especially when you factor in the tax credit. And so here are all the prices. We've got MSRP listed. We've got the tax credit if you qualify as an individual yourself, and then the adjusted prices. And in the middle, you can see the difference in money that you have to spend. So from standard range to go up to the Model Y, it's an extra $3,250. But to go from long range to long range, you actually save $750 by going with a Model Y, which is kind of confusing. And then of course with the performance variations for the Model 3 and the Model Y, it's only $1,000 more to get a Model Y performance adjusted for all the tax credit and everything like that. And so Tesla pricing just does not make any sort of sense right now, unless which actually that's probably what they're doing. They're trying to push as many people as possible to the Model Y. And that's because production of the Model Y is double the rate of the Model 3, according to some of the Tesla analysts out there. And so that would make sense from that aspect. But from this page, I mean, you can see the adjusted prices here, column D and column I. Like which vehicle would you choose at the end of the day when you reflect all these tax credits into it? Michael, do you think if I have an order for the Model 3 long range and before I get a VIN, they release the refresh model, they'll let me choose between the refresh and the normal? I don't think they'll let you choose, but they will definitely let you cancel, and you'll probably just lose the $250 deposit, which there's a way to get that deposit back, but that's only for Patreon members down below in the description. My commute is 50 miles per day. I will have a home charger as well. Then Tommy, I would just say get the standard range version because we've got a home charger, and if I were to do it again, if I had to buy another Model Y, which I'm kind of on the fence on buying another one, maybe as like, because we only have one car in the household, and it'd be nice to have 2 cars. And if I were to do it again, I would either go big or go home. That's kind of the model. I would either go Model Y Performance and then just trade away the 21-inch rims for like maybe Geminis, or just save a bunch of money and get the Model Y standard range all-wheel drive, because that adjusted price of $39,740, not bad at the end of the day. What tax changes are coming next year? Think about waiting for the Model Y refresh. So a couple things that are going on, Uncle Kenroy, with next year. It is the tax credit will be a point of sale discount at transaction. But I believe there's stricter guidelines with electric vehicles in terms of battery and manufacturing. So there is a possibility this whole page that you see on the page right here with the tax credits could change next year, and Model Y might not qualify for the full 7,500. Who knows? I mean, of course, we're going to talk about that more later this year, like November, December, as more highlights get released. But it's tough. It's tough. Tommy, no, thank you. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, and also standard range, that's where you're going to get all the inventory. It seems like a lot of inventory right now is standard range and long range. Well, I guess, of course, that makes sense. And so that's where you're going to get the deal. But of course, if you're on the fence, don't buy yet. Do not purchase just yet. Wait until June and use our referral code if possible. Definitely check it out. Tesla referral code down below in the description so that you can get some supercharger credits and more, or maybe even win a Cybertruck. And of course, we also benefit as well. So thank you to the 3 people that have used the referral code already. And of course, definitely check out our discount codes for Tesla part accessories that are sponsoring the channel. We got Tamai, Jawa, Tesla, and MAGBAK, and of course, premium floor mats for your Tesla at 3D Mats USA. Use code Dennis down below in the description to get an added discount. But thanks for jumping in, everyone. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for dropping by. And I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.